CBS Evening News.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
WICC 695.9, Connecticut Lottery Voice of Connecticut Local News Update.
A former New Haven fire lieutenant is suing the city for alleged racial discrimination and wrongful termination. 36-year-old Keith Norfleet was accused of sexually assaulting someone at Trinity Restaurant and Bar in December of 2022 while off duty, and he was charged in 2023 with first-degree sexual assault. Norfleet was found not guilty of those charges in October 2024, 2 months after he was terminated from his position. The lawsuit alleges that the city intentionally discriminated against Norfleet by firing him before his criminal trial had concluded, while maintaining the employment of someone else with the department who faced nearly identical charges and circumstances. President Trump is singling out 2 Connecticut communities for wasteful spending. It's part of his latest budget proposal. The 92-page document criticizes the Community Development Block Grant Program for low and moderate income people in Greenwich. It's the second time Greenwich has been singled out by the administration for their financial acuity or lack thereof. Waterford was also mentioned in the report after they were granted money to refurbish the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center for $1.6 million. For the Voice of Connecticut, WICC, I'm John Kamal.
All right, John, thanks. Morning, everybody. Good morning at, 6:05. Paul and for Melissa. Melissa in the morning right here on WICC. And John's news this time round brought to you by the Connecticut Lottery. Hey, now play your favorite draw games at ctilottery.org. Odds vary by game. Got to be 18 or older to purchase. Help is available for problem gambling. 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
2-car crash southbound in West Haven near exit 42 on the Connecticut Turnpike. 2 lanes are blocked through that area. Further south, seeing delays northbound in Stamford as they clear the overnight construction work. We're looking good on the Parkway. So far, so good there. Some delays now approaching Shelton as you travel on Route 8 southbound. Fairfield County traffic every 10 minutes on WICC.
A sunny day on the way with a high near 60 and a breeze out of the southwest. A shower or 2 by late this evening and overnight in the mid-40s. Saturday sunny and windy with a high near 60. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Come see and hear Horizons of the Water. It's the Greater Bridgeport Symphony conducted by Maestro Eduardo Leandro on Saturday, April 11th, 7:30 p.m. at the Klein in Bridgeport. Tchaikovsky's 5th Symphony is a deluge of sound. Cruise the River Moldau and experience Akio's Percussion Concerto. Tickets $21 to $72. Get tickets now at gbs.org. Kids under 19 are free. Call 203-576-0263 for this special offer. That's gbs.org.
The spring roofing season is here, and Gunner Roofing has your back and will reduce your financial concerns for a roof replacement. Gunner makes it seamless with an online quote, competitive pricing, great quality, and unheard-of financing. No payments and no interest for the first 12 months. Gunner is offering extraordinary assistance to get you out of the winter blues. Protect your home, family, and finances. Experience the Gunner difference at gunnerroofing.com. Financing subject to credit approval and borrower qualification.
A cancer diagnosis comes with so many questions. Should you get a second opinion? What's the right treatment? How do you tell your kids? You don't need more questions in your life. You need world-class cancer care here in Fairfield County. That's why Stamford Health collaborates with Dana-Farber Brigham Cancer Center, ranked number 3 nationally for cancer care. Your search for answers stops when our care for you starts. Stamford Health.
A look at the news near your neighborhood. The Fairfield University Graduate and Professional Studies around the region. Now on Melissa in the Morning, WICC 695.9, the voice of Connecticut.
Hey there, good morning at, 6:08, almost 6:09. It's Paul and from Melissa. Melissa in the Morning right here, right now, WICC 600 AM, 95.9 FM, and online, voice of CT.com. Take a look around the region for you. A lot to tell you about. A family awarded $49 million over a medical malpractice case. Jennifer Anderson is suffering from late-stage metastatic cervical cancer, which her lawyers say is expected to kill her. They argue that she saw a regular gynecologist who failed to follow protocols for high-risk HPV patients. As Anderson's symptoms developed, the doctor never performed a colonoscopy as the cancer spread to her chest, her abdomen, and her pelvis. A jury awarding Anderson $39 million and her husband $10 million, while the WestMed Medical Group say they will appeal that decision. Ecuadorian Jose Raul Maita pleading guilty to illegally re-entering the country. He was taken into custody in Waterbury during ICE operations back on March the 18th. He was convicted of sexual abuse of a 9-year-old back in 1998, later convicted of failure to register as a sex offender in New York. He was deported in October of 2003, and in August of 2009, he was arrested for DUI after re-entering illegally. His sentencing is set for July the 2nd, could face 20 years in a federal prison. Managers at Google are in Connecticut to help small businesses utilize artificial intelligence. The Middlesex Chamber of Commerce hosting a workshop in partnership with Google on Thursday, focusing on teaching skills in AI to business owners and job seekers. A manager at Google says AI is a tool that should be used to improve productivity. Ethan Galvan says AI can take on a more menial, busy work environment, gives people time to be creative. Organizers said business owners felt more empowered and capable after the workshop. 3 juveniles accused of killing an 18-year-old being charged as adults. This is stemming from a shooting that happened in Hamden on January 17th, around 11:30 a.m. on the 600 block of Mix Avenue, leaving Kevon Washington Archibald dead. Police say the shooting began when Washington was showing his car advertised for sale to Samuel Galapane. Galapane and 2 other suspects identified as Jason Roman and Lamont Walker then opened fire on Washington as he and a friend were showing them the car. Galapane is due in court on April 29th. Roman and Walker are also set to appear in court in May. A coalition is pushing for parole reform in the state Senate. The Coalition for Communal Healing Through Justice Reform hosting an event at the Capitol to support a bill that would remove an arbitrary sentencing cutoff date. People sentenced after October 1, 2025 are not eligible for early parole. The coalition says they want to see parole eligibility expand to people aged 21 to 26 as well. They say the similar programs in other states have reported taxpayer savings and relatively low rates of recidivism. A preschool teacher facing charges for allegedly dragging a child from the classroom. Stacey Vaughn Marcella of Windsor Locks facing 1 count of risk of injury to a child after a December 1 incident at the University of Hartford Magnet School. Authorities believe she dragged the child and left him in a hallway unattended. The mom of the boy says video footage shows the boy being dragged into the hall by his feet and left outside for 5 to 10 minutes before another teacher intervened. Vaughn Marcella set to appear in court on the 29th of April. As we continue in your look around the region right here, Paul and from Melissa on WICC. State House pushing a bill to move legal notices from newspapers to the Internet. The bill would end a long-standing law and requirement to post legal notices in local newspapers, which was a big source of revenue for print outlets. The new bill would keep an option for city officials to publish the notices in print, but would require them to be published on the municipality's website. Proponents of the bill say it's just a shift to advance governments into the Internet age. It comes decades too late. Democrat Mike D'Amico noted, however, this gives people even less of a reason to read their local newspapers. St. Francis Hospital saying they've secured $1.5 million in federal funding. The announcement made with Senator Richard Blumenthal on hand and increases access to trauma-informed mental health care for families impacted by violence. The investment will allow for a merger of the Greater Hartford Family Advocacy Center and the hospital's Violence Intervention Program. Mr. Blumenthal saying too many people in the state, quote, live with the lasting impact of violence, unquote. Hospital officials say the money will strengthen their care system, particularly in the communities that have historically been underserved. A man is convicted in connection with a deadly stabbing in New Haven. 50-year-old Antoine Mike found guilty of first-degree manslaughter this week. Prosecutors say Mike stabbed and killed 47-year-old Travis James outside a business on Whaley Avenue back on June 1 of 2024. Mike will be sentenced on May the 22nd. Meantime, a Milford police officer facing criminal charges. 41-year-old Michael Brennan charged with evading responsibility, interfering with an officer, and traveling too fast for conditions. Brennan was off duty at the time of the alleged incident. A former New Haven fire lieutenant suing the city for alleged racial discrimination and wrongful termination. 36-year-old Keith Norfleet was accused of sexually assaulting somebody at the Trinity Restaurant and Bar back in December of 2022 while off duty. Charged in 2023 with first-degree sexual assault, found not guilty of those charges in 2024. That came 2 months after he was terminated from his job. Now, the lawsuit alleges the city intentionally discriminated against Norfleet by firing him before his criminal trial had concluded while maintaining the employment of somebody else with the department who faced nearly the same charges and circumstances. And finally, a woman is dead following a crash in Norwich. The victim's vehicle crashing head-on with a heavy-duty wrecker in the 700 block of West Thames Street yesterday morning. The woman died. That crash is under investigation. There's your look around the region. Paul and from Melissa. Melissa in the morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you right here on WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Southbound Turnpike, West Haven 42. Been quite a backup heading from Long Wharf into the two-car crash scene. Left lane, center lane is knocked out. West Haven 95. Past that, we're in great shape. Speed limit also on the Parkway 2. And we have a crash in Derby, southbound Route 8. That is blocking the left lane around exit 14. Sponsored by RD Cinto. If you move your office to an RD Cinto property, you could be in the health club right now. Learn more at Cinto.com. You deserve it. Fairfield County traffic every 10 minutes on WICC.
Another bright and beautiful day on the way with a high near 60. A shower or two late this evening and overnight in the mid-40s. Saturday sunny and windy with a high near 60. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
You wanted a new and improved way to experience voiceofct.com, and now you have it. We've totally revamped our website, and it looks better on your smartphone than ever before. Voiceofct.com. You can still stream all of your favorite WICC local talk shows, listen to podcasts, find out about local events, sign up for our email newsletter, and it's easier to use than ever. It's the best way to stay informed in Fairfield County. Just bookmark us. Voiceofct.com. Easton's live and local news source for 100 years. The voice of Connecticut, WICC 600 and 95.9.
Well. Hey, we made it to Friday. Good morning to you. How is everyone at, let's see, 6:18? Now we'll make it 6:19. Always push up the big hand. That's what I say. Oh, yeah, 203-333-9422, 333 WICC. If you want to talk on the radio, send us a message, or you can email me too, Paul, P-A-U-L, Paul, at voiceofct.com. Alrighty. What do we have coming up on the show today? I should mention that. There it is. Yes. As I get my various lists and notes ready together for the show, we will talk a little Connecticut tourism coming up right after the news at 6:35. That's always some good stuff. Of course, we will be hearing from John Kamal in the news all morning, and we'll have John in here to get in depth on a topic coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. Dr. Jeff Gordon, state legislator, giving us an update on what's going on in the General Assembly as things start to wind down. And in the 9 o'clock hour, we'll hear from the folks at the University of New Haven. They're undergoing, or they're underway today. They do this, I think, once a year. It's a disaster drill. So what to do, what they would be, how is the disaster response in the area? And what do they do to teach youngins, young boys, young girls, whatever, in their Dr. Henry C. Lee School of Criminal Justice there to react to disaster drills. So we will talk about that and more. I guess later on tonight, around 8 o'clock or so, Artemis 2 returns. So cross our fingers. Reentry is not, easy when you're essentially falling like a rock and you've got a couple of 1,000 degrees of heat right behind your backs and hoping the heat shield holds. So we'll be following that for you, prepping that all day and night long right here at WICC. 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. You know, Lisa Wexler in the world-famous Lisa Wexler program, heard 10 to noon right here, Monday through Friday on WICC. She touched on this yesterday, and it was on my things to touch on early this morning, because it affects everybody all around the country, all around the state of Connecticut, Fairfield County, New Haven County. Well, not everybody, but somebody you may know. Now, this is going to bring back a chapter in U.S. history. We got rid of selective service when, in 1973, I think it was? Something like that? Around 1973 or something like that, draft registration, the draft. But automatic U.S. military draft registration is coming back. It is planned by December. Hello. The selective service system, yes, the draft, plans to automatically register eligible U.S. men between 18 and 26 for a U.S. military draft by December. Wow. Almost a half century after compulsory registration for the draft for that age group became law. How about that? The agency's proposal would implement a requirement passed by Congress in December of last year, to include automatic registration for, quote, every male citizen in the U.S. between 18 and 26. So what they're doing is they're building the database here. But wow. There has not been a military draft, an actual military draft. Like, here's your number, here's your birthday, since 1973. But, of course, U.S. involvement in the war in Vietnam was winding down. Now, I remember this because I got caught up in this. In 1980, President Jimmy Carter signed a law requiring men 18 to 25 to register for military conscription. And I had to do that because in 1980, I was 19. Since then, though, the federal government has relied on voluntary compliance. All right? Has relied on voluntary compliance with the law, not automatic enrollment. So that's going to be the shift here. Men who are 26 are allowed to enroll late to comply with the law. So I guess technically the law was still there. Interesting. The Selective Service has said that as of 2024, 81% of all eligible men registered. That's a 3-point drop from the previous year. The agency's proposal to automatically enroll men in the draft was submitted to the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs. That sounds exciting, huh? That office. On March 30, the proposal was made about a month after the U.S. and Israel began a war against Iran. There are currently, though, however, we should say this, no formal plans to reinstate a draft. All right. Well, there you go. Automatically, it's going to be done. So, there you go. 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. Say good morning to Bill in Bridgeport. Bill, good morning. How are you?
Very good today. Lars was talking about that last night.
Yeah.
And it was something about the illegal aliens are also going to be grabbed, too, for the draft.
Oh, they are? Okay.
That's what he said. They're not going to like that being forced to go to the service if they get picked.
Well, maybe if they do military time, then they get to become citizens, Bill. How about that? We give them a little trade-off there, right? 2 years, 4 years?
It may work.
You know?
It may work.
Might work. All right, Bill, thanks. Appreciate that. Didn't know Lars was talking about that. Bill referencing the Lars Larson program. Every Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock right here, right before Eric Erickson at 10, and those Red Eye Radio guys overnight right here. But right now, it's the Melissa in the Morning program. Paul and for Melissa in the Morning on WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Looks like they've cleared both crashes that we've had working. Southbound on 95 in West Haven, that has been cleared. Also in Derby, southbound on Route 8, earlier crash has been cleared. So right now, some delays in West Haven as they start to dissipate, and we're still seeing a great ride on the Parkway, too. Fairfield County traffic every 10 minutes on WICC.
A sunny day on the way with a high near 60 and a breeze out of the southwest. A shower or two by late this evening and overnight in the mid-40s. Saturday, sunny and windy with a high near 60. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Bumped your bumper? Kissed a curb? With Sono Collision, your car will be back to top notch in no time. Because we don't just repair, we care. Visit sonocollision.com. Your car will thank you.
Columbia Dental in Norwalk and New Haven uses a 3-dimensional CT scan, which allows precise placement of dental implants and root canal therapy. Their restorative services are designed to improve the function and aesthetics of your smile, as well as your overall oral health. Call Columbia Dental today at 203-299-0111 or visit columbiadental.com. That's columbiadental.com. Your smile, our priority.
Is your DIY security not giving you the security you need? For the next level of security, call Trumbull-based Property Protection Consulting. PPC can use your existing system or install a new system. Floodlights, cameras, and security devices working in concert. All from one simple app for smart home and business security tailored to your needs and lifestyle. Get a complimentary assessment. Go to ppcalarms.com. Book your complimentary assessment. ppcalarms.com. They get 5-star reviews for a reason.
For the best FCAC high school baseball and lacrosse coverage, listen to Bats and Sticks with Dave Rudin. Tune in every Sunday at 11 a.m. on the Voice of Connecticut, WICC 600 and 95.9. Bats and Sticks, brought to you by Duchess. Fresh food served fast.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. Call Term Busters for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class. Exam required to qualify. For details, call 1-800-908-7636. Paid for by Robert Livinger, Insurance Agent.
This is WICC 695.9, the voice of Connecticut.
CBS News Brief. The U.S. and Iran are set to begin negotiations to end the war as Israel and Lebanese representatives get set to sit down after that. CBS's Jesse Mitchell.
Direct talks between Israel and Lebanon will start next week in Washington. The news comes as Vice President J.D. Vance prepares to lead peace negotiations with Iran this weekend in Pakistan.
At least one Democrat calling on First Lady Melania Trump to testify on Capitol Hill after her surprise news conference about Jeffrey Epstein.
I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors.
NASA prepping for the most dangerous part of the Artemis II mission. The crew is getting set to splash down off San Diego tonight. Orion's deputy program manager, Debbie Korth.
It's a very dynamic event. We've got, all these parachutes that have to deploy in a certain sequence, slowing the spacecraft down.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
WICC 695.9, Connecticut Lottery Voice of Connecticut local news update.
Today at 11, Governor Ned Lamont will join Senator Richard Blumenthal, state lawmakers, and advocates at a news conference in Hartford regarding the ICE detainment of a Connecticut high school student. The student is the son of a man who worked with U.S. forces as an Afghan translator and cultural advisor. The student's father, who is known as Zia, was detained by ICE last year. Senator Blumenthal expressed his outrage in a post on social media.
ICE tried to detain and deport his father, Zia. They failed. Now they're targeting his son. I hope the federal courts will vindicate his rights. In fact, this action by ICE is not only unconscionable, but probably illegal. I'm going to do everything I can to help this family.
The student applied for legal residency last year, and that application is still pending. A coalition is pushing for a parole reform bill in the state Senate. The Coalition for Communal Healing Through Justice Reform hosted an event at the state capitol to support a bill that would remove an arbitrary sentencing cutoff date. People sentenced after October 1st, 2025 are not eligible for early parole. The coalition says they want to see parole eligibility expand to people 21 to 26 as well. They say that similar programs in other states have reported taxpayer savings and low rates of recidivism. The House is pushing a bill to move legal notices from newspapers to the internet. The bill would end the long-standing requirement to post legal notices in local newspapers, which was a source of revenue for print outlets. The new bill would keep an option for city officials to publish the notices in print, but would require them to be published on the municipality's website. Proponents of the bill say this is a shift to advance governments into the internet age and say it comes decades late. Democrat Mike D'Amico noted, however, that this gives people even less of a reason to read their local newspaper. The Connecticut Airport Authority is warning spring break travelers to expect long lines at Bradley International Airport from this weekend through the following week. The spring break surge is expected to result in over 139,000 travelers going through Bradley, with the busiest periods being early mornings between 4 and 7 a.m., as well as mid to late afternoon. Airport officials are recommending you arrive at least 90 minutes before your flight to allow time for TSA screenings and check-in. This will be the first spring break rush since Bradley renovated its terminal. A family in Darien has been awarded $49 million over a medical malpractice case. Jennifer Anderson is suffering from late-stage metastatic cervical cancer, which her lawyers say is expected to kill her. They argued that she saw a regular gynecologist who failed to follow protocols for high-risk HPV patients. As Anderson's symptoms developed, the doctor never performed a colposcopy as the cancer spread to her chest, abdomen, and pelvis. A jury awarded Anderson $39 million and her husband $10 million, while the WestMed Medical Group says they will appeal the decision. For the Voice of Connecticut, WICC, I'm John Kamal.
All right, John, right you are. Brought to you by Bridgelight Financial Advisors. Hey, you can reduce taxes you pay on your retirement income and keep the money you've saved with Bridgelight Financial Advisors tax saving strategies. Learn more, bridgelightadvisors.com.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now traffic.
Slow going southbound Bridgeport Fairfield on the Connecticut Turnpike. Still looking speed limit on the Parkway. And Route 8 southbound. It's slow as you head towards around exit 19 or so. Get ready to remove the overnight construction from that area. Fairfield County traffic every 10 minutes on WICC.
Another bright and beautiful day on the way with a high near 60. A shower or two late this evening and overnight in the mid-40s. Saturday, sunny and windy with a high near 60. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Connecticut, your neighbors are choosing MediWeight Loss for real medical support close to home. With convenient local locations, their experienced providers see you in person and design a custom plan that fits your life, including nutrition, coaching, and prescription options when medically appropriate. They've lowered their pricing to help more people in our community get started. And your first month of GLP-1 medication is now available for as low as $99. Local care, trusted providers, real results. Find your nearest Connecticut MediWeight Loss at MediWeightLoss.com.
Selling your home is a big decision. You deserve someone who truly listens and picks up the phone when you call. I'm Jonathan Carbeauty with Carbeauty Real Estate, and we make real estate simple. Whether you're ready to sell, just exploring your options, or even want a cash offer on your property, call me directly at 203-980-6886. No pressure, just real results.
Sell your home smoothly when you call Carbeauty. Go to CarbeautyRealEstate.com.
There's always a great lineup of shows coming to Ridgefield Playhouse. May 5th, it's Madeline Peru performing We Are America, songs that give us hope.
Don't wait too long.
May 16th is the Brad Meldau Trio with Felix Mosahome and Jorge Rossi. And June 12th, it's Al Di Meola, the Guitar Architect, featuring Electric Band. Madeline Peru, Brad Meldau, and Al Di Meola. 3 great shows, 1 great venue. Tickets at ridgefieldplayhouse.org.
If you get injured in an accident, it can feel like you're out there all by yourself. Insurance companies send an army of lawyers after you to lowball your claim, deny coverage, and force you to settle. At Trantolo & Trantolo, we've been standing up to the insurance companies for more than 85 years. We're on your side, and we'll get you what you're entitled to. We don't get paid until you do. If you're injured, don't fight solo. Trantolo & Trantolo. Get your free case assessment at TrantoloLaw.com. That's TrantoloLaw.com.
Where you come first for news, fast and free. WICC 695.9, the Voice of Connecticut. Back to Melissa in the Morning.
Hey, there it is, the award-winning Melissa in the Morning program right here. Good morning at, let's see, 6:36, almost 6:37. We'll talk about the weather momentarily, coming up in about 10 minutes or so with our pal, Paul Piorek. Rachel Lender joins us right now, Connecticut tourism folks, letting us know what is going on the weekend, what you and your family may be able to do. Hey, Rachel, good morning. It's Paul in for Melissa. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? Happy Friday.
Yeah, right. Can't come soon enough. Now, we've got some interesting stuff coming up this weekend For instance, in Mystic, we have the annual Daffodil Festival. Tell us about that.
Yes, well, April is the start of the pick your own flower season, and daffodils are the first to come up, and we love that. So this is the annual Daffodil Festival, and this is happening in Mystic's historic Pequot-Sipos Manor. And there's going to be more than 10,000 daffodils in bloom. There's also going to be an open hearth cooking demonstration. There's going to be craft activities for kids. You can stroll the grounds, take photos, and then you're going to enjoy complimentary lemonade and cookies while you soak in the beauty of spring. It is a wonderful event.
All right, that sounds good. Now, keeping on the floral theme here, something going on in Bridgeport here. The Color Blends Spring Garden in Bridgeport. What's that about?
Yes. So this is an ever-evolving display of color of snowdrops, crocuses, daffodils, tulips, and other spring flowers. The Spring Garden is a collaboration between Bridgeport-based Color Blends wholesale flower bulbs and the distinguished Dutch garden designer, Jacqueline van der Cloet. So this is in its 10th year. Color Blends Spring Garden features half an acre of garden bursting with 50,000 flowers, various types, all blooming in sequence to create an ever-changing display over 6 weeks. So it's absolutely beautiful. And you know what? It begs to compliment how Bridgeport is colorful Bridgeport, So check that out. Go check out some of those beautiful murals in Bridgeport. Such a great place to visit.
Okay, and then we can go to one of the state's best-known orchards, Lyman Orchards in Wallingford, the Spring Apple Hunt tomorrow. What's that about?
Yes, so Lyman Orchards was recently voted by USA Today the #1 apple-picking orchard in the United States, right here in Connecticut. So you want to go and check this place out. They're having kids run across scattered hay bales at the apple barrel grounds, getting as many fresh apples as they can get. They're going to get a free T-shirt. They're going to get an apple cider donut. And then while you're there, this is the coolest part, Paul. You can get the Children's Entrepreneur Market. So it's an award-winning youth vendor market where kids ages 5 to 17, they run their own business. And so you can go and you can promote and purchase goods from these youth entrepreneurs who are budding their hopes and dreams of someday taking on the American dream.
Yeah, cool. And we wind up, Rachel, in Stamford, the Stamford History Center, hosting a spring tag sale, I see.
That's it. So the spring tag sale fundraiser starts tomorrow. It's from 9 to 3, and then they have an encore on Sunday. So this is your opportunity to find treasures, gifts, large and small. They have antiques, furniture, art, books, jewelry, and more. So as always, with any tag sale, you will arrive early to have the best selection. And all proceeds benefit the Stamford History Center, which is absolutely wonderful.
All right, sounds good. Rachel Lenda joining us from the Connecticut Department of Tourism. Hey, Rachel, thanks for the time. We appreciate it this morning. Take care and have a neat weekend. Thank you.
You too. Thanks so much, Paul.
Right,
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Rachel Lenda, now our correspondent from the Connecticut Department of Tourism, talking about all the great things you can do this weekend. Just to recap there, the Denison Homestead in Mystic. That's the annual Daffodil Festival there. Guided tours of a historic manor. There'll be more than 10,000 daffodils in bloom. Enjoy an open hearth cooking demonstration. Craft activities for the kids. Stroll the grounds, take photos of beautiful flowers surrounding that manor that she spoke about there. Enjoy complimentary lemonade and cookies as you soak in the beauty of the spring. Now to Bridgeport once again, the Color Blends Spring Garden. You can stroll through an evolving display of color as snowdrops, crocuses, daffodils, tulips, and other spring flowering bulbs come into bloom. Spring Garden is a collaboration between the Bridgeport-based Color Blends, wholesale flower bulbs, and the distinguished Dutch garden designer Jacqueline van der Kloet. All right. It's in its 10th year. Color blends, half-acre garden bursting with 50,000 varieties, 50,000 flowers of various types. Man, if you're a flower person, that sounds like heaven. My God. Then, again, she mentioned, just to go over this once again, the spring apple hunt tomorrow, Lyman Orchards in Wallingford, not too far from where I live. It'll be on the Apple Barrel grounds, gathering as many fresh apples as they can grab, all the kids ages 1 to 10. So if you're 37 and you show up wearing, your elementary school outfit, you're going to look a little out of place. But if you're 37, there's a lot of great stuff you can buy in the store at Lyman Orchards. While you're there for the apple hunt, imagine that. How old are you? 37. But I want apples. Okay, sir, go over there. And as Rachel mentioned, while you're there for the apple hunt, be sure to explore the Children's Entrepreneur Market. It's an award-winning youth vendor market where kids 5 to 17 can run their own businesses. Never too early to start that, kids. No. And back to Fairfield County, the Stamford History Center hosting its spring tag sale this weekend. That's tomorrow, 9 to 3, with an encore day on Sunday. It is your opportunity to find treasures and gifts, large and small, including antiques, furniture, art, books, jewelry, and more. Arrive early for the best selection. All proceeds benefit the Stamford History Center. And go to CT Visit to find out all the fun things you can do this weekend. So thank you once again to Rachel Lenda from the Connecticut Department of Tourism. All right. See, I got to get out and do more. I got to get out and do more stuff like that on the weekend. I just have to. I mean, I try to get out, get my daily walk in, but I have to actually, maybe I should associate with people every so often. But that's just me. I don't know. What do you want from me? Oh, man. 203-333-9422, 333-WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Route 8, still a little bit of leftover construction southbound in Ansonia, so just be aware of that. It's a slow ride between Bridgeport and Fairfield now, southbound on the Connecticut Turnpike. Fairfield County traffic every 10 minutes on WICC.
All righty. Thank you, Mr. Traffic Guy. Appreciate that. And Paul Pioric is here to discuss the weather. Now, Paul, good morning. And when I walked out this morning, I looked at my car again, as I did yesterday.
Yep.
And I said, please let that just be condensation and not ice. Because as I told you, as they say, I drained the tank yesterday.
I remember.
Yes, to the point where there was nothing coming out of them, the nozzles there, and all I was getting was zzz, I could hear. I don't want to burn out the motor here. But luckily, Mr. Pioric, sir, it was dew. It was ice.
It was due.
Yes.
It was due.
Yeah.
Now, my question for you is, why didn't you get it refilled yesterday?
I was running around doing 18 different things, and I just forgot. I forgot. You know?
At the bottom of the list.
Yeah, it was. I was zipping around doing this, doing that, going to the dent, getting my dental cleaning. So we did that.
Right.
Let me see. We put gas in the car. We drove all around, zoom, and then I went home and passed out. And there you go.
And I went home and passed out. Oh, my goodness. I have to ask you.
Yeah.
You're regularly the afternoon host, and now you're filling in for the mornings.
Yes.
Which shift do you enjoy more?
I enjoy them both. Honestly, I've done mornings in this business on and off for like 25, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Afternoons, I've done nights. I've worked overnights. Paul, as you know, when you're evaluating, I think, in radio, what you want to do, and you and I, we've all been here, right? When you're offered to certain shifts, the main actually question is, well, does the check clear? And and when the check
Right.
when the check clears, you got me. That's
Oh my God, I'll tell you. So Monday you'll be back in your regular afternoon air chair.
yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Right.
I'll be back in the big leather chair. Yes.
In the big leather chair.
Yes.
Right, with your cigar, no?
Yes, my cigar, my yes, I'll be doing the show in my smoking jacket. All right, Paul.
Oh my.
What do
all
we
right.
have over the next few days, which look pretty good, right?
They look very good. You're right, Paul. Good morning, everybody, and happy, as we say every week, happy Friday. Right now we're a little milder outside with that breeze shifting out of the south. We're up to 40 already in Bridgeport. So, yes, it is not frost. It is condensation on the windows this morning. We have that dew point of 38. Our barometer is 30.39. Still way up there, and the aforementioned wind very light out of the south. It will be a sunny day with a high near 60 later this afternoon. A good day to be out and about. Tomorrow, more of the same. A lot of sun with a high of 60. Sunday, sunny with a high in the mid-50s. Monday, partly sunny with a high 70. Tuesday, sunny with a high 75. On Wednesday, fair with a high in the mid-70s. You get the idea. We moderate by midweek. We'll be in the 70s next week, which is great news. Right now, we're at 41 in Bridgeport. We'll have an afternoon high later this afternoon in the upper 50s to near 60 under a lot of sun. Make sure you get out and enjoy. I'm meteorologist Paul Pioric on WICC.
Back to the news and talk. Thanks to Smart MLS. Smart sellers ask, is my home on Smart MLS? The voice of Connecticut. WICC 695.9. It's Melissa in the morning.
All righty, thanks to Paul there on the weather at, 6:49, almost 6:50. Right here at 203-333-9422, 333 WICC. Seriously, though, I think you heard me yesterday if you were on with me this early. Yesterday, a lot of us walked out. Now, before the sun came up and the UV rays kind of got rid of the ice and everything on the windshield and melted that away in short order. But I had it was just enough, as if it was measured out to clear the ice off of the windshield there. And this morning I walked out the back door of my condo. My car's about 100 feet away, so I'm walking toward it, and I'm looking and I'm saying, oh man, now big deal. I could have, you warm up the windshield. I think I still have a screw. Yes, I have my snow and ice tool in the car. But that would have required manual labor at 4:30 in the morning, or quarter after 4 or 4:30 in the morning, which I would personally like to not do at that time of the morning. Just me. Just me. So I got in and just hit the wipers, and it was a beautiful thing. It was a wonderful thing. By the way, speaking of windshield washers, and that this little minutia that I'm into sometimes. One of the saving graces of the car I have, and I have a midsize, I have your typical Hyundai Elantra. This is not to push any particular brand or anything for anybody who may be listening who's involved in the business. But one of the things I absolutely love about this car, is that this was the first car I ever bought. And this is my, 7th, 8th, 9th car, whatever. I lose track. With the first time I filled the reservoir, I guess you would say, yes, the windshield washer reservoir, the first time I filled it, I had this feeling of joy when I realized that the car had a reservoir that could fit an entire gallon of windshield washer stuff. You know what I mean? Now, previous cars, now tell me Tell me you didn't kind of roll your eyes on this sort of stuff. But previous cars, and maybe it's because it was the smaller cars that I would buy. But previous cars, you know, you put in the jug of the windshield wash or the windshield de-icer, they call it. You can buy the de-icer and the washer or whatever. And it wouldn't take the whole jug. And you're sitting there with about 2 inches of stuff left. And it's like, what do I do with this? I know, you put it in the trunk. You put it in the garage. Or as the Brits like to say, the garage. Or you just put it on the floor of the back seat. Why are you rambling about this, Paul? Because it's important to me. That's why. So the first time it's going and going, and I'm like, oh, I can hear the angels going, oh, and then all of a sudden you turn it over. It took every gosh darn drop. Then it was a beautiful thing. Now, I guess in the summer you really don't need the de-icer, but I got to tell you something. You know, most convenience stores, they sell like 2 flavors of the windshield washer stuff, right? They sell, most of it's blue. I don't know whether that's a law or it has to be blue, whatever, but it's blue. But see, the blue stuff doesn't work real well on ice. And I'm like, well, you know, is this just a waste of money? Because sometimes the orange stuff, which again reminds me of Orange Julius, you see where my mind goes here. The orange stuff, it really does work best for the ice. Because let's face it, if you get that little glaze of ice on your windshield, you don't want to scrape it. You just want to get in there, you know, however, push the button or pull the control stalk back and you know, and watch that wonderful washer strip the ice away as you're sitting there half asleep with the heat blasting on your face. But yeah, the orange stuff, it's expensive. It's $7 or $8 a gallon. But any expense is good, I think, when it prevents me from manual labor. So that's always a good thing. 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. Give us a call. You can send us a message too. And also email Open Paul, P-A-U-L, Paul, at voiceofct.com.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now traffic.
2-car crash being cleared in Ansonia southbound right now on Route 8. That has got the left lane blocked through that area, and it's right in the construction zone, too. Southbound on the Connecticut Turnpike, slow coming out of Bridgeport to Fairfield, and delays in Trumbull southbound on the Parkway. Fairfield County traffic every 10 minutes on WICC.
A sunny day on the way with a high near 60 and a breeze out of the southwest. A shower or 2 by late this evening and overnight in the mid-40s. Saturday, sunny and windy with a high near 60. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Step into spring with confidence. Downtown Dental is making it easy to shine with their dental implant special for only $999. Say goodbye to hiding your smile and hello to a brighter, fresher you. Don't wait another season. Take advantage of Downtown Dental's $999 dental implant special today. New patients are welcome. Your dream smile is just one call away. Call Downtown Dental or visit downtowndentalct.com. 3 convenient locations in Bridgeport, Norwalk, and West Haven.
Have you heard that Milford, Connecticut was recently voted the 3rd best place to retire in the United States? Come see for yourself and visit Forest Hills Milford, offering newly constructed rental units in an active 55-plus community. Assigned garage parking with direct access to your building's elevator, storage units, and a state-of-the-art fitness center included free with your monthly rent. No additional cost for the things that make life easy. Visit ForestHillsMilford.com for more information or to schedule a tour. Forest Hills Milford, bringing ease and comfort to your everyday life.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Why? Why take a chance? Why risk a mistake? Why say something? We all have reasons why we choose to ignore the things that give us pause, that seem out of place, that don't feel right. The word why can either paralyze us or empower us to stand up and protect what we love. So if you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my family.
I see safe for my friends.
I see say for my students.
We see say for each other.
I see safe because all of this matters.
We all have something worth protecting, a why that unifies this community we're all a part of. So protect your everyday. Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something. Why? Why do we ignore the things that give us pause, that seem out of place, that don't feel right? The answer to why defines who we are. So if you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my friends.
For my community.
For my family.
For each other.
Because all of this matters. We all have something worth protecting. So why do you see say? Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something.
WICC. WICC AM Bridgeport, WICC FM Southport, WEBE HD2 Westport, WPLR HD2 New Haven, locally owned by Connoisseur Media.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Big differences remain over the Strait of Hormuz as the U.S. and Iran get set to begin peace talks in Pakistan. The BBC's Caroline Davis is in Islamabad.
The roads have been blocked, paramilitary, army and police deployed, and the journalists are arriving. But so far, there is no sign of senior officials. Since the talks were announced, Pakistan has remained positive that not only would they happen, but that there is a chance to find meaningful dialogue. No formal schedule has been announced for the talks, but the White House has said that they would be held on Saturday morning.
Only 3 ships passed through the Strait of Hormuz yesterday. President Trump posted last night that is not the agreement we have. A federal judge has rejected the Pentagon's latest restrictions on reporters.
The judge declared a new rule barring journalists from seeking confidential information from government sources was essentially unconstitutional. The Pentagon had adopted that revised policy last month after the same judge ruled its earlier press policy was unconstitutional. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has been trying to limit reporters' access to the Pentagon. He closed their designated workspace and declared more parts of the complex off limits to them. A Pentagon spokesman says it will appeal this latest ruling. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A day after she held a surprise news conference denying ties to Jeffrey Epstein, First Lady Melania Trump denounced what she called lies about her and the convicted sex offender.
I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing.
Mrs. Trump accuses her detractors of a smear campaign. Military planes and helicopters at the ready to pluck the Artemis II astronauts out of the Pacific Ocean later today.
I'm Peter King at the Kennedy Space Center. Artemis II will blast into the atmosphere at a record-setting 25,000 miles per hour, with temperatures as high as 5,000 degrees outside the Orion spacecraft Integrity. Now, all that friction will create a 5-minute communications blackout that ends when Integrity hits the lower part of the atmosphere, slowing it down to 325 miles per hour and eventually much slower as 11 parachutes provide the brakes for splashdown.
Officials in Philadelphia are presuming the worst after a garage collapse Wednesday at Children's Hospital there. Mayor Sherelle Parker says search dogs haven't found any signs of life in the rubble.
2 individuals remain missing and are presumed deceased.
That would bring the death toll up to 3. The fire commissioner says crews need to delayer the building in order to find the missing people. U.S. oil climbs above $100. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here? How is this possible?
Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 Minutes.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
WICC 695.9, Connecticut Lottery Voice of Connecticut Local News Update.
A former New Haven fire lieutenant is suing the city for alleged racial discrimination and wrongful termination. 36-year-old Keith Norfleet was accused of sexually assaulting someone at Trinity Restaurant and Bar in December of 2022 while off duty, and he was charged in 2023 with first-degree sexual assault. Norfleet was found not guilty of those charges in October 2024, 2 months after he was terminated from his position. The lawsuit alleges that the city intentionally discriminated against Norfleet by firing him before his criminal trial had concluded, while maintaining the employment of someone else with the department who faced nearly identical charges and circumstances. President Trump is singling out 2 Connecticut communities for wasteful spending. It's part of his latest budget proposal. The 92-page document criticizes the Community Development Block Grant Program for low and moderate income people in Greenwich. It's the second time Greenwich has been singled out by the administration for their financial acuity or lack thereof. Waterford was also mentioned in the report after they were granted money to refurbish the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center for $1.6 million. For the Voice of Connecticut, WICC, I'm John Kamal.
Okay, John, thank you. And John's news this time around on the Melissa in the Morning program on WICC, sponsored by Bridgelight Financial Advisors. You can reduce taxes you pay on your retirement income and keep the money you have saved with Bridgelight Financial Advisors tax saving strategies. Learn more. Check it out. BridgelightAdvisors.com.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Route 8 southbound, 2-car crash. Left lane is out. Exit 15, Derby Avenue. We're seeing delays there behind that. It's right in the construction zone, too. Southbound on the Merritt Parkway, starting to get busy in Trumbull. Also seeing delays on the Connecticut Turnpike from Bridgeport into and past Southport. Fairfield County traffic every 10 minutes on WICC.
A sunny day on the way with a high near 60 and a breeze out of the southwest. A shower or 2 by late this evening and overnight in the mid-40s. Saturday sunny and windy with a high near 60. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Hi, I'm Lori Molnar, Director of Development at the Bridgeport Rescue Mission. I'd like to invite you to our Inspiring Hope Luncheon on May 7th from 12 to 2 p.m. at the Patterson Club in Fairfield. Join us to support the mission's vital work, providing housing, hunger relief, health care, and recovery services to those in need. Our keynote speaker, NBA legend Chris Herron, will share his powerful story of resilience, recovery, and transformation. Together we can make a difference. Reserve your seat or sponsor a table today at bridgeportrescuemission.org.
Hi, I'm Peter from Donut Delight. Donut Delight has used Steve Basso Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning since 1994. From installing plumbing in our new stores to maintaining our existing stores and our personal homes. Their guys have always been very professional and great to work with. Donut Delight has been very happy with Steve Basso Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Looking for a reliable plumbing or HVAC company? Steve Basso Plumbing, Heating, and AC has proven customer satisfaction since 1974. Go to BassoPHAC.com. That's BassoPHAC.com.
Center Stage Theater in Shelton brings the dynamic musical revue Jerry's Girls to its stage April 10th through 19th. Featuring a talented cast of 3 women, the music of Jerry Herman from Broadway classics Hello Dolly, Mame, La Cage aux Folles, and Mac and Mabel is brought to life. This show is a romp through the magic of Herman's classics. Enjoy high-quality entertainment close to home at one of Connecticut's most beloved community theaters. Visit centerstagetheater.org for tickets and more about the 2026 season.
This is where Seymour starts the day. Melissa in the Morning on WICC 695.9, the voice of Connecticut.
Well, hey there. Good morning at 7:08, almost 7:09. Paul and for Melissa, the award-winning Melissa in the Morning program right here, WICC. Hope all is good with you. Our lawmakers in Hartford taking their responsibilities to another notch, which is good to see. The State House okaying reforms to earmarks. You know what that means? That's money given out to specific people, organizations who want things, and say, listen, we need funding for this, funding for that, civic groups, local groups, whatever, after an audit and an ongoing federal probe. The House passed a bill yesterday, setting new rules to increase transparency around millions of dollars. We're talking millions of dollars in legislative earmarks, which lawmakers direct to favored nonprofits. A lot of work is done by nonprofit organizations in the state that is not done by state employees, because if it was done by state employees, it would cost 2, 3, 5, 10 times more than it's costing now. The bill was proposed by Governor Ned Lamont after some alleged, again, nothing's been proven yet, but some alleged funny business by a member of the state Senate there and his female friend. This is all alleged in the FBI and everything. The bill would require additional documentation and reporting from any entity that gets a legislative earmark through the executive branch. The governor pushing for the changes to the process amid an ongoing, says here, by the way, I'm taking this out of the Connecticut Mirror, amid an ongoing federal criminal investigation into Senator Doug McCrory, who advocated for at least $11 million in state funding, legislative earmarks in recent years for a Hartford nonprofit known as the Blue Hills Civic Association. A forensic audit, that's a deep dive, as they like to say, a forensic audit commissioned by the Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development said that McCrory controlled a large amount of the money that went to the Blue Hills Civic Association in recent years, and it showed that he used that power to subgrant. In other words, he got the money, and then he gave it out, as we heard yesterday, to other organizations and individuals. He used that power to subgrant millions of dollars to other nonprofits and businesses, some of which are also currently under a federal investigation alongside the state senator. The new bill passed the House 141 to nothing. Now there are 151 to nothing. There are actually 151 House members, So there were no votes. There may have been a few. No-shows, some open seats. I don't know. So get this now. And you might hear this and say, well, geez, this makes common sense. But believe it or not, folks, for grants given out to these local organizations and state money, what I'm about to read you, right, never existed in writing. And this is the kind of thing where you and I, and this transcends party now, this transcends left versus right. You talk about basic money management 101. The bill would require that state lawmakers specifically name which entities are getting the money through the earmark process. It requires them to, I'm not kidding, folks. This would, just so you know here, I'm not sitting here saying, well, this group should get the money and that group should not get the money and those people over there should get twice the money and those people down there should get half of what they wanted. No. But get this, the new law that the governor proposed and passed 141-0 in the State House requires lawmakers to specifically name which entities are getting the money through the process. Like, okay, who are you giving this money to? And it then requires them to provide, get this now, I know this is earth-shattering, it's groundbreaking here, to provide an explanation of what the money will be used for. Something that currently doesn't occur. So understand something here. You have, and thankfully we have now had the sunshine, the disinfectant of sunshine, as they say, the ultraviolet cleansing rays of sunshine shed on this whole thing, thanks to the Doug McCrory situation, where apparently money would be given out to some of these local nonprofits, many of them good, well-intentioned people, and they didn't have to say what the money was for. Really? Really? So, well, and so now this is in law, thankfully. The bill also requires any entity that plans to subgrant the state money, again, any entity that gets the money and wants to give it to somebody else they know down the tree, to get approval from state officials to do that in advance. Again, believe it or not. Believe it or not. There was no requirement to actually get specifics on who was getting the money, what organization, what it was going to be used for, and if the people who got the money were going to give it to somebody else within or outside their organization. The proposed bill would also require the Office of Policy and Management, that's the State Budget Office, OPM, to assemble an annual report of all the money lawmakers tasked state agencies with passing out to nonprofits. Son of a gun. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? We now have to come up with a list of what taxpayer money is given to whom and how much of it's going out every year. As Gomer used to say, surprise, surprise, surprise. Paul for Melissa in the morning right here on WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now traffic.
Route 8 southbound, two-car crash. Left lane is out. Exit 15, Derby Avenue. We're seeing delays there behind that. And it's right in the construction zone, too. Southbound on the Merritt Parkway, starting to get busy in Trumbull. Also seeing delays on the Connecticut Turnpike from Bridgeport into and past Southport. Fairfield County traffic every 10 minutes on WICC.
Right now, it is clear. We have the sun up and 41 degrees in Bridgeport, our dew point 39. A little of that moisture on the windshield early this morning. The wind is very light out of the south, and our barometer is 30.38. That will be on the way down later this afternoon. It will be a great day weather-wise, under a fair amount of sun with a high near 60 later this afternoon. The breeze will be light out of the south. Overnight, a shower or two with low in the mid-40s. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 60. Sunday, a lot of sun with a high in the mid-50s. Monday, generally fair, even warmer with a high 70. Tuesday, sunny, even warmer with a high 75. And Wednesday, partly sunny with a high in the mid-70s. If you have next week off, you've got a winner of a week weather-wise. Right now, we have readings in the lower 40s by the water. In the 30s inland will be later this afternoon, right around 60 under a fair amount of sun. I'm meteorologist Paul Fiorek on WICC.
When we say you can listen to the voice of Connecticut anywhere, we really mean it. You can stream us at work or listen in your car. And that's just on your phone. We've totally redesigned our smartphone app, and now it's easier to use. Listen live, find podcasts, keep up to date with everything going on in Connecticut, and it's still totally free. Just go to your app store now and search for WICC. News and talk for Fairfield County since 1926. 100 years of WICC 695.9, the voice of Connecticut.
Now, as many changes as that bill is going to make to how tax money that you and I are tasked to give the state and they give out, there's some things that this new bill says here that it doesn't do. I mean, folks, this is fascinating. You would think that no matter what your belief in government, that if the state is quite properly, because some of these organizations do some really, really, really good work, you would think, though, that every step of the process would be tracked, would be logged, would be put in writing. There would be names, there would be addresses, there would be people who were handing what money, where's the money ultimately going, what's the address of these people, do they have an office, who is their management structure, how long have they been around? You would think that stuff is as they say, de rigueur. You know, just normal stuff. But apparently it wasn't. Now, for all the good things I said that this bill does, when we have members of the House and Senate giving away, and with good reason sometimes, doling out, giving away our tax money, there are some things it doesn't do. For example, the bill does not require lawmakers to attach their name to individual earmarks to establish a public record of which lawmakers requested that funding. Really? So as good as the part of the bill is that says, hey, we need to know as much as possible about who's getting this state money and why they're getting it and what they intend to do with it, and instead of just sliding a bag across the table and go, here you go, see you later, do you want to do lunch? The bill still does not require lawmakers to attach their name to individual earmarks to establish a public record of which lawmakers wanted that money. So if State Senator Joe Jones wants to send $100,000 to somebody in their city or town, his name is not on there, that the request was made. The new rules also are yet, but as they say on TV at 2 in the morning on the infomercials, but wait, there's more. The new rules would also not cover money that is routed through the Connecticut judicial branch, where earmarks for the Black and Puerto Rican caucus have historically been distributed. Why is that? Why does money for the Black and the Black and Puerto Rican caucus, why does it go through the judicial branch? Can somebody explain that to me, Lucy? Both Democrats and Republicans in the House portrayed the bill as an important step to reforming the earmarking process, which often occurs behind the scenes. Several House Republicans specifically question why money set aside for the Black and Puerto Rican caucus was not subject to a same level of scrutiny. However, the House's Republican members unanimously supported the bill, arguing that it did provide some additional transparency measures that don't currently exist. Folks, I have to tell you something, and you know I'm honest about this. If you listen to me at all on the afternoon show, Monday through Friday, 2 to 6, I try to let you know, because I get paid to do this, meaning this is what I concentrate on. You have busy lives. You have your wife, your husband, your domestic partner, your significant other, your kids, your grandkids, your jobs. If you're retired, your circle of friends. A lot of you either don't want to or don't have the time to get into the minutia of all this. And what we try to do here on WICC, whether it's me or it's Lisa or it's John or it's Chris or it's Melissa, whatever, peel apart the stuff that goes on in the state. I mean, for example, and I've taken calls on this already during the afternoon show. I mean, a lot of people say, like, they're this lax when they give out some, state funding. Yeah. And again, you would think, you would hope. Now look, not everybody in Hartford is some, dastardly villain looking to steal money. I'm not implying anything of the kind. But I'm sure if you read this story, and by the way, it was a good story. I just read Andrew Brown's story. I think Andrew's been on the show here with Melissa in the morning a few times. Andrew's story. Read the story in the Connecticut Mirror about what this bill does, which I guess is good, but what it does versus what it still doesn't do. Like changing the fact that money for certain caucuses is run through the Department of Corrections, or is that a racial preference? I don't know. But again, try and keep up with this stuff. I know you're busy, and again, this is the stuff I tell you, that as sexy as the governor's race is, Ned Lamont v. Josh Elliott v. Betsy McCoy v. Aaron Stewart v. Ryan Fazio, that stuff is going to be sexy, and everybody's going to be battling over that and this, that, and the other. It's really the 151 people in the State House and the 36 people in the State Senate that have an inordinately large influence on your life. So, as my parents used to say, pay attention. All right? All right. Paul for Melissa in the morning on WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Route 8 southbound, very heavy volume now as you approach Ansonia. And this is around exit 15. This is a two-car crash. Left lane is out. It's right in the construction zone. So heavy delays through that area of Route 8 southbound. Stop and go volume coming out of Bridgeport, heading into Southport on the Turnpike. And then we're busy, too, Trumbull through Fairfield on the Merritt Parkway. Fairfield County traffic every 10 minutes on WICC.
Another bright and beautiful day on the way with a high near 60. A shower or two late this evening and overnight in the mid-40s. Saturday, sunny and windy with a high near 60. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
I feel so blessed that while my grandmother was alive, she spent most of my childhood living with us in an in-law apartment. But as she got older, it was hard to watch that cooking became a lot harder, keeping her area of the house clean, and certainly getting to and from doctor's appointments and to run errands like go to the grocery store. If you or a loved one needs help being able to live independently and stress-free at home, can I suggest talking to my friends at Connecticut In-Home Assistance? They provide professional, compassionate, non-medical homemaker and companion services tailored to meet your unique needs. Whether it's help with daily chores, meal prep, or just someone to share a conversation with, their dedicated caregivers are there to help make life more enjoyable. Sit down with my friend Brian and have a free assessment done so Connecticut In-Home Assistance can prioritize your specific preferences and routines and offer a truly customized experience for you. Check out cthomecare.com for more information or call to schedule that free assessment with Brian at 855-412-CARE.
Ned Lamont and the Hartford Clowns have a problem telling the truth. Here's Ned.
And we're trying to make life a little less expensive for working families in the middle class.
Talk is cheap, Ned, but you know what's not? Our electric bills. Aaron Stewart is the no BS candidate for governor. Aaron knows that 1, Connecticut exports a third of the energy we generate while we pay the highest prices in New England. That's BS. 2, the Hartford Clowns put a hidden tax on your bill, the public benefits charge. Complete BS. And 3, Ned wants electric leaf blowers instead of gas, so he's importing hydropower from Canada. Really? Canada? Total BS.
And we're trying to make life a little less expensive.
I'm Aaron Stewart. I'm running for governor because it's time for something different, like cutting the BS. Only Hartford would ship out the energy we make and ship in expensive Canadian energy. Join me at Aaron4CT.com. I approve this message.
Paid for by Aaron for Connecticut, Valerie Marino, Treasurer.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code ACTIVE for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ACTIVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's ACTIVE.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
This is WICC 695.9, the voice of Connecticut.
CBS News Brief. The U.S. and Iran are set to begin negotiations to end the war as Israel and Lebanese representatives get set to sit down after that. CBS's Jesse Mitchell.
Direct talks between Israel and Lebanon will start next week in Washington. The news comes as Vice President J.D. Vance prepares to lead peace negotiations with Iran this weekend in Pakistan.
At least one Democrat calling on First Lady Melania Trump to testify on Capitol Hill after her surprise news conference about Jeffrey Epstein.
I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors.
NASA prepping for the most dangerous part of the Artemis 2 mission. The crew is getting set to splash down off San Diego tonight. Orion's deputy program manager, Debbie Korth.
It's a very dynamic event. We've got, all these parachutes that have to deploy in a certain sequence, slowing the spacecraft down.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
WICC 695.9, Connecticut Lottery Voice of Connecticut Local News Update.
Today at 11, Governor Ned Lamont will join Senator Richard Blumenthal, state lawmakers, and advocates at a news conference in Hartford regarding the ICE detainment of a Connecticut high school student. The student is the son of a man who worked with U.S. forces as an Afghan translator and cultural advisor. The student's father, who is known as Zia, was detained by ICE last year. Senator Blumenthal expressed his outrage in a post on social media.
ICE tried to detain and deport his father, Zia. They failed. Now they're targeting his son. I hope the federal courts will vindicate his rights. In fact, this action by ICE is not only unconscionable, but probably illegal. I'm going to do everything I can to help this family.
The student applied for legal residency last year, and that application is still pending. A coalition is pushing for a parole reform bill in the state Senate. The Coalition for Communal Healing Through Justice Reform hosted an event at the state capitol to support a bill that would remove an arbitrary sentencing cutoff date. People sentenced after October 1st, 2025 are not eligible for early parole. The coalition says they want to see parole eligibility expand to people 21 to 26 as well. They say that similar programs in other states have reported taxpayer savings and low rates of recidivism. The House is pushing a bill to move legal notices from newspapers to the internet. The bill would end the long-standing requirement to post legal notices in local newspapers, which was a source of revenue for print outlets. The new bill would keep an option for city officials to publish the notices in print, but would require them to be published on the municipality's website. Proponents of the bill say this is a shift to advance governments into the internet age and say it comes decades late. Democrat Mike D'Amico noted, however, that this gives people even less of a reason to read their local newspaper. The Connecticut Airport Authority is warning spring break travelers to expect long lines at Bradley International Airport from this weekend through the following week. The spring break surge is expected to result in over 139,000 travelers going through Bradley, with the busiest periods being early mornings between 4 and 7 a.m., as well as mid to late afternoon. Airport officials are recommending you arrive at least 90 minutes before your flight to allow time for TSA screenings and check-in. This will be the first spring break rush since Bradley renovated its terminal. A family in Darien has been awarded $49 million over a medical malpractice case. Jennifer Anderson is suffering from late-stage metastatic cervical cancer, which her lawyers say is expected to kill her. They argued that she saw a regular gynecologist who failed to follow protocols for high-risk HPV patients. As Anderson's symptoms developed, the doctor never performed a colposcopy as the cancer spread to her chest, abdomen, and pelvis. A jury awarded Anderson $39 million and her husband $10 million, while the West Med Medical Group says they will appeal the decision. For the Voice of Connecticut, WICC, I'm John Kamal.
All right, John, thank you. John, sponsored this time round by Courtesy Carpet Flooring Design Center. Hey, now is the time for a fresh new look for your home. Save on top flooring brands at Courtesy Carpet. No big box gimmicks, just fair, honest prices. Check them out. Courtesy Carpet, Route 111 in Monroe.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now traffic.
Earlier crash Route 8 southbound Ansonia has been cleared, so we're certainly in much better shape there now. Parkway doesn't look bad. It is stop and go out of Fairfield into Westport's 18 on the Turnpike southbound. Also a little slow around Connecticut Avenue in Norwalk, too. Fairfield County traffic every 10 minutes on WICC.
A sunny day on the way with a high near 60 and a breeze out of the southwest. A shower or two by late this evening and overnight in the mid-40s. Saturday, sunny and windy with a high near 60. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
In the real estate ecosystem, trust and transparency create harmony. But one elusive species disrupts this balance, the rogue agent. Their secrecy with off-market listings leave home buyers confused, frustrated, and inventory-starved. And that's bad news for sellers too. With Smart MLS, over 20,000 realtors unite, creating more demand, offers, and better results. Ask your agent if your home is on Smart MLS.
Looking for quality dental care close to home? Columbia Dental in Norwalk and New Haven is here for you. As part of our robust network of 12 locations, we're open to fit your busy schedule. From routine cleanings and checkups to implants and oral surgery, Columbia Dental provides complete care for the whole family, all in one place. Call us today at 203-299-0111 or visit columbiadental.com. That's columbiadental.com. Your smile, our priority.
There's always a great lineup of shows coming to Ridgefield Playhouse. May 5th, it's Madeline Peru performing We Are America, songs that give us hope.
Don't wait too long.
May 16th, it's the Brad Meldau Trio with Felix Mosaholm and Jorge Rossi. And June 12th, it's Al Di Meola, the Guitarchitect, featuring Electric Band. Madeline Peru, Brad Meldau, and Al Di Meola. 3 great shows, 1 great venue. Tickets at ridgefieldplayhouse.org.
Need the perfect flowers for any occasion? Trust Cityline Florists, Trumbull's local florist for 108 years and 4 generations. From birthdays to anniversaries to celebrations or just because, Cityline Florists delivers stunning high-quality flowers same day, anywhere in the country. Stop by their beautiful gift shop and greenhouse at 2978 Nichols Ave, Trumbull, or order online at citylineflorist.com. Cityline Florists, making life's moments bloom since 1918.
Heard in Woodmont, Walnut Beach, and anywhere in Milford. You found Melissa in the Morning and the voice of Connecticut, WICC 600 and 95.9.
Oh, yeah, little Madonna. Get into the groove, boy. You got to give your love to me. I'm sorry. I was I'm having flashbacks to my top 40 radio days. Eric is in the studio going, please stop. Stop singing Madonna. Man, that was, remember, oh, man, because she's getting up there, too. She's in her, I think she just went on tour. You know what? As, what's the word I'm looking for? As, what would be a good word? As backgroundish as Madonna has been. Oh, yeah, Madonna, she was big once. Yeah, but you know what? And I don't think she's had a record out that did anything in a couple, 3, 5, 10 years. I don't know. I'm kind of disconnected with that part of the business now. Even though we have great music stations here at Connoisseur. But I got to tell you, if there are certain artists that no matter how old they are, people still want to see. And she is still, like, if she was to announce, like, a farewell tour today, I think she did a tour a couple of years ago, whatever. It's like an instant sellout. I mean, those tickets are gone. There are still some artists. And even if they can even mildly, just stumble over a song and sing along to a backing track or something like that, and people will see it. I mean, God bless Paul McCartney. He just put out a new CD. He's still touring. I saw some video. I've never seen him live. I always wanted to, but hey, sometimes with YouTube, you just go to all the fan shot video. But God bless McCartney. And Ringo's got a new album out, too. It's a country record. He's done country stuff before. So God bless these people. If you're about my age, look, I'm 65 now. So if you're like 50, low 50s to my age, 65, and anything above that, and I say we as a group, we grew up in a golden age of music. We really did. It's never going to be duplicated. It just won't. Because of the way the business is now with music and everything. And I'm not saying I'm not being the old man on the old, get off my lawn kind of thing, No, that's not me. Just because I don't buy an artist's music or listen to him or her doesn't mean I don't think they're talented. It's the people that are fools that say, well, this guy's a no-talent bum. Yeah, and he's playing to 20,000 people a night. You're doing what on the couch at home? Snoring. But if you're about my age, a little older, a little younger, so if you started following music from, say, right around Woodstock-ish years, late 60s, into the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, everything, the super groups, the stadium shows, the great instrumentalists, whatever, it's never going to happen again. To that extent, the British invasion, none of this, the disco era, the punk era, people like Madonna, the late Prince, the singular people. Look, I've always talked about a continuum of, say, greatest male singers of all time. And then, you look back, and I've always said, and I've discussed this on my show and just amongst friends, to me, there's the Mount Rushmore of male singers. Bing Crosby, although he wasn't the best parent, physically abusive to his kids, I'm judging him on his output and the influence he had. Bing Crosby segued to Frank Sinatra, who segued to Elvis, who segued to, again, morally a creep, but Michael Jackson. So who is after Michael Jackson? And who was before Bing Crosby? Nothing. So a lot of us live through that continuum of the buildup of legends, not necessarily morally, again. Even Mr. Sinatra had his moments, as did Elvis. But, for example, you have, again, Bing Crosby to Frank Sinatra to Elvis to Michael Jackson. All right, and after Michael Jackson, who or whom, I should say? As somebody, not just somebody who is good, but somebody who set trends, somebody who changed the genre, right? Who's changing the genre of women singers right now? Now, you could argue you go back to that Mount Rushmore. I don't know. Ella Fitzgerald? Barbra Streisand, particularly from a vocal. And again, a lot of people don't agree with their politics, whatever. Same thing Springsteen's undergoing. I've never gotten bent out of shape about an entertainer's politics. You know why? Because I'm not paying them to tell me how to politically think. Now, I know a lot of people won't go see Springsteen anymore, and there was, whatever, and that's fine. I don't care. But to me, trying to get your political fix from a singer or some guy or gal in a band is like trying to, tell your plumber how to rewire your house or bringing over your electrician to change out the oil in your car. Maybe some of them could do that, but you know where I'm coming from here. See what happens? You play this up-tempo bumper music in the morning on the world-famous Melissa in the Morning program. This stuff gets me going. It gets me going. Oh, man. You know what I wanted to mention here, but I got distracted by Madonna. I got a funny Madonna story. I don't know whether I can tell it. Yeah, can I? I think I can. I'll tell it later. Nothing obscene or anything. It's just like, wow. John Kamal, our buddy John of the newsroom, we'll have him in a few minutes here. I think at the 8 o'clock hour, we'll have him in and see what he's working on. He's talking about the spring break crush, with the airports. And God bless spring break. It's good business for the airlines. It's good business for the hotel. Everybody who can make a cent on spring break. But boy, must be nice. Right? Must be nice. I mean, look, I had a comfortable middle class upbringing in New Haven. We lived in a nice neighborhood. It wasn't ostentatious. Mom was a stay-at-home mom. Dad worked, 6 days a week, busting his tail at a store. If I went to my father and said, hey, Dad, I need some money, and he would usually say, what do you need, $5, $10? I'd say, no, I need, probably a couple of $1,000. He'd look at me and say, the hell for? I'd say, I want to go on spring break. What? You want to break what? You're breaking what? Dad's hearing sometimes. Am I the only person that thinks this? And again, for young folks and even some middle-aged folks, God bless you, have a blast. A life can end in a blink. Seriously. Somebody hits you, you die. I mean, it's just my philosophy now. Life can end in a wink and a blink here. But I'm sure there are some people who are thinking and nodding their heads with me right now. Hey, I need to go on spring break. Or the guys at my school are going on spring break. Now, I'm sure there might have been some parents back in the day who would say yes to that. But honestly, 203-333-9422. Do you sit back, and again, I don't besmirch anybody's ability to live a good life. Maybe I should have traveled more as a kid. But the whole thing with spring break, hey, there's a break in school, especially in the colleges, so we're going to go to Mexico, to the Caribbean, to Florida. Really? You know what I did on spring break? I sliced cheese. I sliced pressed ham. I used to wait for the phrase of death that I used to hear in my father's store. The phrase that I dreaded like I never dreaded anything before. Can I have 2 pounds of American cheese sliced thin? Traffic and weather together right here on WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now traffic.
The slow part on Connecticut Turnpike right now is from Bridgeport's 26, heading in through Fairfield and Westport on into Norwalk, too, right exit 16. Building volume in Stamford Parkway at this moment looks pretty good. Fairfield County traffic every 10 minutes on WICC.
A sunny day on the way with a high near 60 and a breeze out of the southwest. A shower or two by late this evening and overnight in the mid-40s. Saturday, sunny and windy with a high near 60. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Back to the news and talk. Thanks to Smart MLS. Smart sellers ask, is my home on Smart MLS? The voice of Connecticut. WICC's 695.9. It's Melissa in the morning.
You know, I was in a store yesterday, and there was a woman next to me, or next on the next in line of the deli counter, and I wasn't buying any cold cuts. I was getting some of the prepared salads there. And the very nice woman, in fact, we were chatting a little bit, and the very nice young man behind the deli counter, and she said, I want, a half a pound of whatever ham sliced thin. All right. So he slices, he does the first slice and says, how's this? She goes, oh no, it's got to be thinner. He says, okay. He slices it again. And at this point on the second slice, you could, as my uncle used to say in the store, why are you slicing this so thin? What do you want to read the newspaper through it? He actually used to say that. Oh my God. And she says, and she wasn't being angry about it. She says, no, I want it thinner. And I'm thinking to myself, lady, if you cut this any thinner, it's going to be like mush. I understand people don't want, I'm sorry, this whole thing brings back memories. This is on-air therapy anymore, right here, right now, 333-9422. People, please stop telling deli people that you've got to cut this thing so wafer thin that it reminds you of Charmin. Okay? We understand you don't want it like steaks. We get it. But stop with the have you ever tried, do any of you people, are any of you people a member of my club who's actually worked a slicing machine sometimes? Once you get to a certain point, it doesn't come out in a slice anymore. It comes out in shreds. Especially cold cuts like ham, some prosciutto. Cheese is a little easier because it sticks together. But, for the third time, and again, she was being uber nice about it. But the third time, she says, no, thinner, please. I'm starting to say a prayer for the kid. I mean, come on, you're just going to eat it. You're not papering the walls with it. You're just going to eat it. We know you don't want thick because you want to stretch it out if you've got kids in the house, because sometimes you take stuff by the slice and the kids are like, okay, I'm going to take 2 slices, not 4, whatever. But please, as a long-retired member of the Delhi County fraternity, I'm begging you, stop with asking for thin 3 times. Please. Now, honestly, sometimes, well, I shouldn't say this. Should I say this? Yeah, why not? There were times when I was working in my father's store, and we had one of these super thin people. Okay, you want it thinner, and we finally got down to the thickness that they wanted. And they would say, oh, that's perfect. So I would turn around and do a couple of slices the way they wanted. Then I'd turn the knob up just to the normal setting. Like, if you think I'm going to sit here and slice 3 pounds of ham so you could read the New Haven Register through it, no. Dottie in Bridgeport. Dottie, how are you? What's up? Good morning.
We all love you. We love you. Even Stop and Shop, when you go online, actually has shred.
Yeah.
Some people want it shredded.
Shredded, that's all. Yeah.
Honest to God, I do it thin.
Yeah.
People do it medium.
Yeah.
But they actually have
Yes,
online
they do.
that they could have it shredded.
Yeah.
So I'd love that.
My guess. And Dottie, thank you. I'm just up against the time-wise.
Can I tell you the one thing?
Yeah.
About the spring break?
Yeah.
My generation,
Yeah.
your generation.
Yeah.
But guess what?
Yeah.
Not my son, my daughter.
Yeah.
Spring break.
Yeah.
And the grandchildren, spring break. It's the new thing.
It is.
It's the new thing.
Dottie, thank you.
Love you.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. Must be nice, huh? Yeah. She's right. I did see she's right. Thanks, Dottie. I did see shredded cold cuts. And that's fine. That's fine. Do you know what a pain in the arse it is, to clean those slicing machines? If all you're doing is thin. Oh my God.
Oh, you just reminded me of a funny story from last week. I meant to message you.
Yeah.
So the other day, we had my uncle and aunt up from Florida.
Okay.
And it was Easter, so we didn't want to prepare like something like super big, but we wanted to have stuff over.
Yeah.
So we went to the deli to get like cheese, turkey, and ham. And the person in front of us, God bless them.
But
so they were sitting there talking about and going through the different slices, like you said, the thickness and all that. And they get to the they get to this one, that final slice that's like paper thin that you could look at.
Yeah.
The person behind the counter starts doing it, and then all of a sudden, like, as soon as they get to like the 5th or 6th slice,
you saw them.
No, you don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
Wait, I think that's too thin.
It's coming up the machine. Yes.
Just like, it's too thin.
I know.
I kind of need it. I need it a little bit
the person.
thicker.
Oh, my God.
I need it a little thicker.
Oh.
So, got to start over.
Oh,
now.
he had to start over. Oh,
So,
my God.
What makes it even worse is they also wanted cheese, and they started doing the same thing. Wait, hold on. Can you make it a little bit more thinner at the bottom?
God.
God bless them.
I know.
It's like
I know.
when you go to like the fast food place and they just want the one burger. They don't want anything on it. They want it super well done. And all of a sudden you see one pickle. Excuse me.
I know. Thanks, man. That's funny stuff. Yeah, it is. And listen, that's not the rule. That's the exception. But please, have a little mercy on your deli counter people. Please. All right? Just, again, the words of death as I was growing up. Even worse than getting my mother and father angry at me, which happened every so often. 2 pounds of American cheese sliced thin. Do you know how long that takes? That's like a pitcher having to ice down his elbow after that. Traffic and weather together right here on WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Stop and go volume southbound Turnpike, Bridgeport into Fairfield. Also, as you make your way through Norwalk 16 to 14, volume in Stamford southbound 2. A little busy in Westport on the Parkway south. And also in Ansonia now, we're starting to see some volume heading into Derby and Route 8. Fairfield County traffic every 10 minutes on WICC.
Another bright, beautiful day on the way with a high near 60. A shower or two late this evening and overnight in the mid-40s. Saturday, sunny and windy with a high near 60. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Come see and hear Horizons of the Water. It's the Greater Bridgeport Symphony conducted by Maestro Eduardo Leandro on Saturday, April 11th, 7:30 p.m. at the Klein in Bridgeport. Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony is a deluge of sound. Cruise the River Moldau and experience Akio's Percussion Concerto. Tickets $21 to $72. Get tickets now at gbs.org. Kids under 19 are free. Call 203-576-0263 for this special offer. That's gbs.org.
Ever notice that feeling your worst also seems to happen at the worst time in the worst places? Like sudden nausea at 9 p.m. when you're out of town. Really? Now? Fortunately, with Hartford Healthcare's HHC 24/7 app, you can get answers, diagnosis, prescriptions, even speak live with clinicians anytime, anywhere. So maybe there's never a good time to be sick, but at least the best care's always there. Download the app at your app store or hhc247.org.
Let's be honest, most of us spend a lot of time thinking about retirement, but not so much actually preparing for it. Each week, David Gagnon, he's the host of Mastering Your Wealth. He discusses the financial news of the day and explains how it could affect you as you get ready for retirement. Join David Saturday mornings at 8 for Mastering Your Wealth Radio right here on WICC 600. You can also visit masteringyourwealthradio.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
This is a St. Jude moment.
Ashton was a high-level athlete, and in an instant, your world flips. And your healthy 5-year-old competitive cheerleader has a brain tumor. And the physician was like, your best option is St. Jude. Receiving treatment that was life-saving for our child and knowing that that treatment would be of no cost to us was a huge weight lifted.
Learn more at stjude.org.
You're listening to WICC 600 and 95.9, the voice of Connecticut. WICC AM Bridgeport, WICC FM Southport, WEBE HD2 Westport, WPLR HD2 New Haven, locally owned by Connoisseur Media.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Vice President Vance leaves for Islamabad this morning ahead of U.S.-Iran ceasefire talks there tomorrow. But President Trump is threatening to resume attacks on Iran if a key shipping channel isn't fully reopened. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
Strait of Hormuz is open.
That was Iran's deputy foreign minister insisting that ships can now coordinate with Iran's military to safely travel through the Strait of Hormuz for the first time in 6 weeks. But the numbers tell a different story. Only 3 oil tankers braved the narrow waterway Thursday, and at least one was Iranian. President Trump posting last night, that is not the agreement we have.
A new vote to limit the president's war powers blocked by Republicans. Virginia's Democratic Congressman Suhas Subramanian.
This ceasefire is a joke. This war should never have happened in the first place, and Congress deserves a say, and the American people deserve a say.
The White House has warned staff not to place certain bets on prediction markets.
CBS News obtained an email from the White House Management Office telling aides not to use non-public government information to place wagers on markets like Kalshi or Polymarket, warning it's a criminal offense. Connecticut Democratic Senator Chris Murphy claims it's already happened ahead of the military operations in Venezuela and Iran.
There's a lot of people inside that White House
that are using these prediction markets to enrich themselves corruptly. And of course they are, because the tone is set from the top.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A surprise from First Lady Melania Trump. She held a news conference on Jeffrey Epstein and denounced what she called lies about having ties to the convicted sex offender. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
It's unclear why she chose yesterday to speak out. Even President Trump said he did not know anything about what his wife was going to say.
Less than 3 weeks after a deadly crash between a plane and a fire truck at New York's LaGuardia Airport.
That happened so fast. Both of us were just like, holy shit. We just slammed on the brakes. I'm going to have to call the flight attendants to make sure everybody's all right in the back. It was real close, as close as I've ever seen.
Live ATC with a report from a Frontier pilot moments after his plane almost hit 2 trucks as the jet was about to turn into a taxiway at LAX. This time, no one was hurt. California police say officers ran over a suspect and killed him as he tried to escape after shooting a sheriff's deputy trying to serve an eviction notice south of Fresno. Investigators say the suspect had been waiting and opened fire when officers got there, killing Detective Randy Hoppert. Tulare County Sheriff Mike Bordeaux.
I sat down at Sierra View Hospital and I met with the wife and I met with his mom. And I can tell you that there is no consoling that family at this point.
This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
WICC 695.9, Connecticut Lottery Voice of Connecticut Local News Update.
A former New Haven fire lieutenant is suing the city for alleged racial discrimination and wrongful termination. 36-year-old Keith Norfleet was accused of sexually assaulting someone at Trinity Restaurant and Bar in December of 2022 while off duty, and he was charged in 2023 with first-degree sexual assault. Norfleet was found not guilty of those charges in October 2024, 2 months after he was terminated from his position. The lawsuit alleges that the city intentionally discriminated against Norfleet by firing him before his criminal trial had concluded, while maintaining the employment of someone else with the department who faced nearly identical charges and circumstances. President Trump is singling out 2 Connecticut communities for wasteful spending. It's part of his latest budget proposal. The 92-page document criticizes the Community Development Block Grant Program for low and moderate income people in Greenwich. It's the second time Greenwich has been singled out by the administration for their financial acuity or lack thereof. Waterford was also mentioned in the report after they were granted money to refurbish the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center for $1.6 million. For the Voice of Connecticut, WICC, I'm John Kamal.
Okay, right you are, John. John's News this time around here on the Melissa in the Morning program on WICC is brought to you by the fine people at the Courtesy Carpet Flooring Design Center. And we tell you that now is the time to go for that fresh new look for your home. Save on top flooring brands of Courtesy Carpet. No big box gimmicks, just fair, honest prices. Check them out. You know where they are. Courtesy Carpet, Route 111 in Monroe.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Seeing delays in Bridgeport, in Norwalk, and also in Stamford on the Turnpike southbound. Parkway looks pretty good, just about speed limit I'm seeing there. And Route 8 south is slow into Derby this morning. Fairfield County traffic every 10 minutes on WICC.
A sunny day on the way with a high near 60 and a breeze out of the southwest. A shower or 2 by late this evening and overnight in the mid-40s. Saturday sunny and windy with a high near 60. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan. Last year, more consumers switched to Chevrolet than any other automotive brand. Why? With more standard passive and active safety features than any other brand, plus easy-to-use technology like wireless Apple CarPlay, Chevy simply builds in more value. And who doesn't love getting more for their money? With fresh inventory arriving daily, see for yourself at Carl Chevrolet, 261 Elm Street in New Canaan, or online at carlchevy.com.
Everyone has a passion, that one thing you'd love to spend all your time doing, like going on runs anywhere and everywhere, taking cooking lessons from world-famous chefs, or rocking out to your favorite artists all over the world. Pursue your passions, whatever they may be. Play the new Millionaire for Life daily draw game for a chance at $1 million every year for the rest of your life. Passion funded for life. Overall odds 1 in 8.5. Must be 18 or older. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777.
Do you truly understand the impact of taxes on your retirement savings? Would you like to keep more of your hard-earned money? Attend Bridge Life Financial's Taxes in Retirement event, April 21st and 23rd at El Palio in Shelton. It's a free workshop discussing real tax saving strategies. Click bridgelightadvisors.com and register.
This is Bill Levitt, President of Bridge Life Financial Advisors. We'll show you real tax savings on your savings.
Come to our next event at El Palio in Shelton. Register today at bridgelightadvisors.com. bridgelightadvisors.com.
This is where Stamford starts the day. Melissa in the Morning on WICC 600 and 95.9, the voice of Connecticut.
Well, hey there. Good morning. At 8:08, 8 past 9 o'clock. Paul and for Melissa. Melissa in the Morning here. Phone lines back open in just a bit. 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. Get a little update here as to what's going on to the General Assembly as the budget's being adjusted and several bills are still up for grabs. Some may not get a floor vote. Some might. A lot of the stuff that goes on, though, has a direct effect on your lives. Joining us right now, friend of the radio station here, Republican State Senate member Dr. Jeff Gordon joins us. Jeff representing the towns of Ashford, Chaplin, Coventry, Eastford, Ellington, Hampton, Stafford, Thompson, Tolland, Union, Vernon, Willington, and Woodstock. Jeff, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good, Jeff. And boy, with that district, Jeff, out there in the eastern part of the state, out in the northeastern part of the state, I'm sure your mileage, if you're meeting constituents out there, I'm just saying to myself, beautiful areas to drive, but that odometer must go spinning around, doesn't it?
Oh, it absolutely does. I enjoy representing my 13 towns in the 35th Senate District. This is my fourth year doing it. And yes, I put a lot of miles on. I walk a lot of miles, but I enjoy getting out and about, seeing the people in all of my towns, especially now with the weather beautiful.
Yeah. So, Jeff, the session is counting down. Before we get to the non-budgetary things, I know that the government and the majority Democrats there and some input from the Republicans as well, we're trying to kind of, fine-tune the budget until we do the whole thing again, the biennium, about surpluses and all this and tax revenues and all that. So where does that stand?
Well, right now it's being heavily negotiated with the governor and with the Democratic leadership up there in the Senate and the House, and the Republicans are involved as well. There was a proposed budget that came out of Appropriations Committee. A lot of us Republicans, we voted no because it was massively unrealistic, wasn't even coordinated with the Finance Committee to have any good idea what our revenue stream is, and we're right now being told we're in a deficit, which is a very concerning situation because when we had deficits years ago, guess what happened? The government upped taxes on everything under the sun.
Yeah.
So it also that this budget proposal was a political document, not a policy document, and didn't do important things like help move more public education funding out to towns and cities to help decrease the pressure on property taxes. It just was a spending document, again, divorced from the reality of the decreasing state revenues.
So do you anticipate both, they have to, right? Both sides, Jeff, have to come together on that by statute, correct?
Well, what happens is the Democrats have the supermajorities, and they can just ignore reality and vote any way they want. They're also very good at voting to keep spending on certain things and then pushing the can down the road into other years to account for the costs. But the bills come due, and all these bills require taxpayer money. So my Republican colleagues and I in the Senate are heavily fighting for a common sense, reality-based budget and to refocus the billions we have onto core government responsibilities and not keep sending out money to special interests based upon who you know or who you're connected with. We've seen a lot of corruption and investigations looking into these earmarks that have completely gone wrong.
Yeah, let's talk about that, Jeff. That was my next question here on the ledger this morning. It's good to see at least the House, and I don't know, has this come up for a Senate vote or not, but this bill that the governor said he wanted passed, 141-0 in the House, it does make some worthwhile changes, Jeff, but as I'm reading it to our listeners here this morning, I'm wondering if it goes far enough here. I don't think it does.
I agree with you, it doesn't. And who's been leading the charge for years on making things more transparent and accountable for the taxpayers? Senate Republicans have. Every year we keep pushing this point. This is a year that we pushed it very heavily. The governor can read the tea leaves. He understands people are upset with the way their money is being mismanaged, and he's agreeing with us Senate Republicans. So this is a step in the right direction, but I want people to understand we don't want window dressing. We want substance that's going to matter. And myself, my Republican colleagues, we've been pushing even more. We need to actually have a very strong inspector general type of operation where we can really much more get into why these things are happening and hold state agencies accountable. State agencies continue to blatantly fail time and time again various state audits and repeat violations of state law, mismanagement of money, losing property and vehicles, and can't account for it all. This is all taxpayer money, and we need to put some teeth into things. And if people are mismanaging state money, there should be very serious consequences. And right now there isn't. And I hope the governor will cross the aisle, join us Republicans, and say, yes, we really need to move things in a much better direction. That would be something good to hear from him at the end of this current term as we're wrapping up the session.
Jeff, on that bill, before we move to the homeschooling bill, which is what I want to finish on, but on the bill that was passed overwhelmingly and is going to pass overwhelmingly, I was reading there's a great wrap-up story on that this morning in the Connecticut Mirror. I think people are shocked, Jeff, at the, I don't even want to say loose guardrails, the lack of guardrails into some of these earmark practices previously. And again, this is not to besmirch anybody who does great work, much cheaper than the state could do it. But the fact that, I'm reading this and I'm telling people, well, now they have to say, who's the structure of the people taking the money? What are they going to use it for? Are they going to give it to anybody else? And, Jeff, I'm reading this stuff like, isn't this common sense, right? Or am I wrong here?
It's absolutely common sense. I have a mug that says common sense. Yeah. I'm known for that. That's one of my mottos in all my years of public service. Mm-hmm. And what we want to highlight the good work all these nonprofits are doing that do a good job. I have many of them in my district in Northeast Connecticut. But let's take into a different category the bad actors that blatantly are just taking taxpayer money and running away with it. And there's been some blatant examples. Some's being investigated by the feds, some by the state, and we should really shine a light on that and make certain that that money is not being wasted, because that could be money that we can turn around and help some other nonprofits that are trying to do work for fuel assistance, food banks. But the bad actors are stealing the money. So we need to go a lot farther than this bill does. So I'm hoping now that we've opened the door to some reform, we can really open it wide open. And stay tuned for some interesting debate and discussion in the Senate when this bill comes up.
Interesting. And finally, Jeff, kind of the elephant in the room here, if you will, besides the budget, the homeschooling bill. Speaker Ritter said the other day they're going to pass something. I told my listeners they'll probably stay away from requirements about actual curriculum because that could get really crazy. Jeff, do you get the sense that with this latest tragedy of this, I think, 12-year-old girl or however she was, I think it was in Enfield, I'm not sure, who was said to be homeschooled and tragically she was killed. Do you think now the pressure will be very high to pass this bill with this DCF reporting requirement in there? How do you think this shakes out?
I think their Democrats and Democratic leadership don't like homeschooling, and they really want to regulate it, maybe regulate it to a point that it doesn't happen. That's been a very clear message. These are very, very unfortunate situations that have happened. But one of the key points you don't hear the Democrats talk about, DCF has been involved already. And there's been failures of DCF to follow up, to look into things. So don't blame homeschooling. We actually need to figure out why DCF is failing and what to do to improve the functioning of DCF. Why put more into the hands of DCF when they already can't do what they're doing? That's not the right thing to do. So unfortunately, this is being used conveniently to go after homeschooling. It's not the right thing to do, but I think the Democrats and the governor want to score a quote-unquote win. Even though it really isn't a win, it doesn't get at the root of the problem. So I've been a strong defender of parental rights and people who want to homeschool, but also I've been a strong proponent of reforming DCF. But again, look at all these cases and you'll see a common denominator. DCF was involved and failed each time.
Dr. Jeff Gordon, Republican State Senate member, represents a large multi-town district in the northeastern part of the state. Jeff, take care. We appreciate the time, and hang in there, okay?
Thanks a lot. Always happy to chat with you. Enjoy the day and the weekend.
All right, thanks. Dr. Jeff Gordon, physician and member of the Connecticut State Senate. Yeah, folks, listen, and God bless, I've talked to DCF people in the past. I've had young people call me on shows like this saying how much they love their DCF coworker. They look forward to seeing them. They don't see him enough. And again, this is not to besmirch anybody or come down on anybody that works for DCF, but I have said this on my afternoon show. I remember doing some of my first newscasts in this business, 1984, 85, 86, and there seemed to be always something about DCF and DCF funding or lack thereof. Again, when are we going to fix this and get enough DCF caseworkers and really make the process easier on them as well so they can spend more time researching cases, researching families, and being a guiding post to some of the cases they have with young people? Paul and for Melissa in the morning on WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
All right, we're looking at a slow ride now in Bridgeport southbound on the Turnpike. Also heading through Norwalk around 16 to 14. Heavy volume in Stamford. 25A connector is busy just past Washington Avenue to the 95 merge on the Connecticut Turnpike. Stop and go through Trumbull on the Parkway, then making your way into the Fairfield Rest, and a busy ride in New Canaan. Sponsored by R.D. Cinto. If you move your office to an R.D. Cinto property, you'll avoid all this traffic. Learn more at Cinto.com. You deserve it. Fairfield County traffic every 10 minutes on WICC.
Another bright, beautiful day on the way with a high near 60. A shower or two late this evening and overnight in the mid-40s. Saturday is sunny and windy with a high near 60. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
This spring, all of us at WICC are here to bring you the live and local news you need daily. Melissa in the Morning wakes you up at 5 for Connecticut news updates and exclusive interviews. The Lisa Wexler Show starts at 10, where Lisa speaks her mind and wants to hear what's on yours. The latest local news headlines continue at noon on the Download with John and Chris. Connecticut Today with Paul Pacelli is live at 2 for the latest on your ride home. We're live and local all day, every day on the Voice of Connecticut. WICC 600 and 95.9. Greenwich's live and local news source for 100 years. The Voice of Connecticut. WICC 600 and 95.9.
Hey, good morning. 8:20, make it 8:21 here. Paul Piorek says a nice day coming up. In fact, nice day, nice weekend. And I guess we carry that into the next week with mostly sunny skies, a few clouds out there. All right. And maybe these were the last few days of the chilly conditions out there. Right now we have a mix of clouds and sun. Greater Milford, Bridgeport, Fairfield County area, and all across the state, and we're at 43 degrees. So as you're getting dressed now, as you have WICC on in the background, And as you're getting all manner of spiffied up for the day, pick out your 43 degree jacket. You know what's what and look, I know people that have 5 or 6 different coats or jackets or windbreakers or whatever that they okay, it's a little warmer, a little colder. I literally have, and I don't know if I'm the odd one or not. I literally have. Now I've got more than 2, but I've got like 2 styles of jackets I wear, coats. That's it. I think somewhere I own an overcoat or a raincoat, as they used to call them. But I'm the kind of guy where even if it's, even if it's freezing outside or in the 30s or 20s or teens, I kind of wear the same coat as I do when it's the 40s or 50s. I don't, and look, it's not like I'm sitting out there taking a Sunday walk in a windbreaker. No, I'm not doing that. But having said that, I'm not an overcoat person. I can't wear a parka anymore. Does anybody still wear? Does anybody still wear parkas? Remember though? Well, you still see them from time to time, right? You still see them from time to time. The parka, with that fur. And what was I know the fur was supposed to look good. Did it serve a purpose? I don't know. But in school, a lot of folks had, their parkas and everything. But no, I wore the same coat today or jacket that I would wear if it's 60 degrees out, or I would wear if it's 20 degrees out. I'm just and here's another thing. I can't I think it's been, and I get arguments on this on both sides, and not to get overly detailed about hygiene and habits. I can't, like if I'm wearing a t-shirt or a sweatshirt or anything, I can't wear an undershirt. If you put $10,000 on a table in front of me right now and said, Paul, give me an estimate as to the last time, before you put a dress shirt on, or before you put a golf shirt on, or before you put any sort of sweater on or anything, when was the last time you wore an undershirt? I can't do it. And I know people say, well, if you sweat a lot, yeah, well, whatever. There are certain things I can't do. You know what else I've grown to not be able to do? And some people say this is a neurological thing. This is a psychological thing. You know what? As much as I'd love to wear one, and do you know people like this? I can't wear a watch. And I must have 20 watches at home sitting in a drawer somewhere that are really nice. Stuff from like real Mickey Mouse watches to a couple of nice Bulivas I was given over the years, Timexes and stuff. The feeling of something on my wrist. Even when I was married, I wore my wedding ring and that was it. Even though I have, I'm trying to find where my father's, the Italian dad pinky ring with the diamond chip and the onyx face. I have that somewhere. The typical Italian pinky ring. I think I've got my father's somewhere, but I could never wear it. It's just the feeling of something on my skin other than air or the main shirt I'm wearing. It's just been really... Now, somebody in my family said, well, that's an indicator like some sort of mental challenges. Maybe it is. I don't know. You know the other thing I do, too? And I can do it here because, we all occupy different studios at the radio station, so nobody's going to steal stuff here or any place else I ever worked. Do you do this, too? Do you? And honestly, because I can't sit unless I do this. Do you empty out your pockets? A couple of other people in the building I know that do that. I've learned over the years. But do you empty out your pockets? So you tell me if there are any psychiatric professionals out there. You tell me. I don't wear T-shirts. I can't wear a watch or anything on my wrist. And I got to empty my pockets and put my keys and my cards and the pen I carry with me and my pocket comb. It's all in a nice, neat little pile. But I can't have it pressing up against me doing this. So you tell me, what's the diagnosis? Traffic and weather together right here on WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Delays in West Haven southbound on 95. Also heavy through Bridgeport 27A into the Fairfield Rest. Norwalk, slow spots there. And also in Stamford, too. Southbound, it is busy ride in Trumbull on the Merritt Parkway. Also as you make your way in through New Canaan. Fairfield County traffic every 10 minutes on WICC.
Another bright and beautiful day on the way with a high near 60. A shower or two late this evening and overnight in the mid-40s. Saturday sunny and windy with a high near 60. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
The winter may be behind us, but did you see that windstorm earlier in March and how many branches and tree limbs came down? I know I saw it in my neighborhood here in Milford. Hey, Melissa Sheketoff here. And it's another reminder that we live in New England and storms happen all throughout the year. And I don't want you to have property damage. That's why I want you to check out my friends at K&J Tree Service. I am a proud customer of K&J, and boy, did I have a great experience. Check out KJTreeService.com for more information and to book that free tree risk assessment.
Need metal? Metal Supermarket's got metal. Big or small. No minimum order. Cut and ready fast while you wait or call for delivery. Check out the new store in Bridgeport today at 1085 Connecticut Avenue, where we cut, bend, and shape any size of metal with no minimum order.
Some people reach a line and stop. Some hit a wall and turn around. Then there are the ones who cross the line, climb the wall, face obstacles, and turn them to their advantage. That's where we come in. We're the next rodeo. We design bold marketing that drives real growth. A creative partner for businesses ready to push forward beyond what's expected. The Next Rodeo. Learn more at thenextrodeo.com.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. Call Term Busters for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class. Exam required to qualify. For details, call 1-800-908-7636. Paid for by Robert Livinger, Insurance Agent.
This is WICC 695.9, the voice of Connecticut.
CBS News Brief. The U.S. and Iran are set to begin negotiations to end the war as Israel and Lebanese representatives get set to sit down after that. CBS's Jesse Mitchell.
Direct talks between Israel and Lebanon will start next week in Washington. The news comes as Vice President J.D. Vance prepares to lead peace negotiations with Iran this weekend in Pakistan.
At least one Democrat calling on First Lady Melania Trump to testify on Capitol Hill after her surprise news conference about Jeffrey Epstein.
I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors.
NASA prepping for the most dangerous part of the Artemis II mission. The crew is getting set to splash down off San Diego tonight. Orion's deputy program manager, Debbie Korth.
It's a very dynamic event. We've got, all these parachutes that have to deploy in a certain sequence, slowing the spacecraft down.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
WICC 695.9, Connecticut Lottery Voice of Connecticut Local News Update.
Today at 11, Governor Ned Lamont will join Senator Richard Blumenthal, state lawmakers, and advocates at a news conference in Hartford regarding the ICE detainment of a Connecticut high school student. The student is the son of a man who worked with U.S. forces as an Afghan translator and cultural advisor. The student's father, who is known as Zia, was detained by ICE last year. Senator Blumenthal expressed his outrage in a post on social media.
ICE tried to detain and deport his father, Zia. They failed. Now they're targeting his son. I hope the federal courts will vindicate his rights. In fact, this action by ICE is not only unconscionable, but probably illegal. I'm going to do everything I can to help this family.
The student applied for legal residency last year, and that application is still pending. A coalition is pushing for a parole reform bill in the state Senate. The Coalition for Communal Healing Through Justice Reform hosted